Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So it is a little bit later on in the afternoon now. What time are we at? It is 12:44, so starting the vlog a little bit later today because I had a bit of work to do early this morning. So I'm sitting down with my cup of tea, getting cozy. It's pretty cold outside, and I'm starting my kind of like morning routine a little bit later on in the afternoon because I just didn't have time to do it before I went to work this morning. I did not get the best sleep last night because do you remember that little sickness that struck me down before Christmas? It's back again. So I've got the sniffles, got a bit of a sore throat, and I was up with it last night for basically most of the night. So I didn't get a whole pile of sleep, hence why this morning was a little bit of a rush and I didn't get to do my morning routine this morning, which usually involves sitting down and planning out my day, which is exactly what I'm gonna do now. So we're doing it a little bit later on than usual this morning. And when I was in bed last night, not able to sleep, I was thinking that it would be a good idea to sit down and talk about a couple of the things that I am gonna try and implement now that it is 2019, that it is the new year, and I could share them with you. A couple of you asked in the question of the vlog section, like in one of my last videos, whether I am a person that is, you know, a believer in New Year's resolutions, or if I make them, and if I do, what they are. So I thought I could kind of talk about that today. So I wouldn't say I am like a huge New Year's resolution person, because I feel like they kind of come with a little bit of a like negative tag for some reason, that everybody just believes that they're gonna be broken within a couple of days of the new year. I'm more of a person that likes to set goals at the beginning of the year. I just think it's a really good time to collect your thoughts and put things down on paper, have an idea of where you want to go within the next year, where you'd like to see yourself in 12 months time, in 6 months time, and just reevaluate your life in general. I feel like I do this like twice or 3 times a year, but the start of the year is always a good time to do it. So there are a couple of things that I am planning on implementing this year into my life, into my lifestyle, in the way that I suppose I just live my life day to day, that I really think are going to help me throughout the rest of the year. Kind of just keep on a positive mindset and to keep, you know, my life decluttered. I feel like when your life's decluttered, you can get more done and think more clearly and be more productive with your life. So I wrote down a couple of things that I want to do, and I am going to tell you about them. So basically these are just a couple of ways that I think are going to really improve my life in the next year or so. Some things that I have actually implemented already, but I just want to continue doing this year, and maybe they can help you guys out too. So first things first, always, always, always make your bed first thing in the morning. Like, I mean, as soon as you get out of it, make your bed. Don't get up and go into the bathroom and start doing your morning routine and then come back and do your bed. Make it as soon as you get up. I think, well, this is one thing that I've done since I was little, and I am just going to continue to do this year because I think it makes a huge difference in the beginning of the day. Like, if there's nothing else that you do consistently on a day-to-day basis other than make your bed, that's probably one of the really good things that you can do, because it sets yourself up in a kind of habit or a ritual or a schedule, and it keeps you on track. And I find that because it's a way of like tidying, you're keeping your head decluttered, because in my eyes there's nothing worse than going back into your bedroom at the end of the day to an unmade bed, your whole room looks messy, and then my head gets a little bit all over the place. So I find that by making your bed first thing in the morning, it sets you up for a decent day, like a day that is a little bit more planned, a little bit more, that like runs a little bit more smoothly, if that makes any sense. So I've like just found that that is one thing that really helps me throughout the day, is just to make your bed first thing in the morning. Another thing that I want to do this year that I really think made a huge difference last year, and I didn't keep it up, but it makes a massive difference in your life, is committing to reading 1 book a month. Last year I set myself the goal of 2 books a month, and I actually think I kept that up for about 6 months. I definitely kept that up until I was in Greece, and then life got really crazy and really hectic and I kind of slipped out of it. So I have started that again. This is the first book that I'm reading. If you watched any of my vlogs around Christmas time, you'd have seen that I got this from my dad. This is a book that I've been wanting to get hold of for so long, and it is Gary Vaynerchuk's Crushing It book. Now, I don't mean you need to read a self-motivation or a self-help book or anything like that. I mean any book. Like last year I read The Great Gatsby, I read Breakfast at Tiffany's, I read Frankenstein, I read like a load of classic novels, and I think that's another really kind of good goal to have in your mind, is to read some classic books. But I said that this year I'm going to read either a classic novel or a self-help book every month, and this is the one that I am reaching for first and foremost in 2019, because I think it's going to get me on the right track for the year. Basically, it's all about how great entrepreneurs build their businesses, and it's just supposed to be an amazing book. Like you can see on the back of it, there's like all of these little things written by like people like The Rock and Casey Neistat, which is a huge YouTuber. I'm sure you all know who he is. Jessica Alba, loads of different people recommend this book anyway. It's supposed to be excellent. I'll leave a link to it down in the description box if you want to get it for yourself. And I've already had a little bit of a skim through it, and it's so good. Gary Vaynerchuk, if you don't follow him, is basically a tell it like it is kind of person. He's extremely motivational and he doesn't take any prisoners when it comes to telling you what you need to hear and getting your ass in gear for the year. So I feel like it's a really good way to get me on track for my goals in 2019 and to make sure I'm sticking to them. So yeah, that is another thing that I really think is going to help me throughout the year. Because as much as, like, you know, social media is great and watching TV is great and watching documentaries is great and reading articles online is fantastic, I don't think you can beat books, like solid books. There's nothing like sitting down with a book and getting some information from it. So I think that's going to make a huge difference this year if I manage to stick to it. I think it is more achievable for me to say that I'm going to read one a month, and if I get 2 a month in, fantastic, but as long as I'm reading 1 a month, I am happy with that. Okay, the third thing that I really think is going to make a difference in the year this year is taking the time to plan and schedule and be more intentional with how you're spending your time. So you all know, if you watch the channel, that I am a huge believer in making lists and taking notes. It's just one way that I find helps me to stay on track and keep organized and get things accomplished that I want to get accomplished. And I want to kind of continue that into the new year, but like better again. So last year I really got into journaling, and that really helped me with staying positive. A lot of you ask me how I stay so positive. First of all, I do not stay positive all the time. Nobody is positive all the time, and if they tell you they are, they're lying. But one way that I try and keep like my energy up and feel a little bit more joyful and positive in the day was by journaling. Like I really thought that helped, and my 1 line a day for 5-year journal was really nice. It's going to be a nice thing to look back on. That's something that I done every evening. And then my 5-minute journal was another thing, and a lot of you guys ask me where I get that, so I'm going to link that down below for you as well, because it's a really good way to start off the year. So basically you write out a couple of things that you're grateful for at the beginning of the day. That's all you have to do in the morning, and then in the evening you write out a couple of things that you thought were amazing about the day and how you could have made today better and things like that. So it's basically just a reflection on your day and how you thought the day went, and it just makes you more intentional about how you're living your life, and I would like to do more of that this year. And as I said, what goes along with that is taking the time to sit down and plan my days out. So that's exactly what I'm doing now. So all I do is get a massive big notebook and I write to-dos and goals for the day, or sometimes just for the week, and I write out, you know, Monday to Friday, plan out things that I need to get done, and that way I can tick things off as I'm going. I'm somebody that needs to see things like physically in front of me to make sure that I'm getting them done. So if they're sitting in front of me, I can tick them off as I'm going along and make sure that life is going to plan. Obviously, one big thing though to remember is that you got to be flexible in life. Things don't go the way that they're supposed to. You should be able to work your way around them, but the goal is to take the time to plan my days out so I can be more intentional with my work. Another really simple way to better your life, I suppose, in 2019 is by getting up a little bit earlier every day. Even if that's only 20 minutes earlier, I swear you will notice a huge difference. And I feel like I fell into the trap of sleeping in a little bit later in the winter time. It is so dark here in the mornings in the winter that you just don't want to get out of your bed. It's super cozy, and dark mornings don't equal yay, let's go and get stuff done. I find it so much easier to be like productive and motivated in the mornings when it is bright outside in summertime. So I'm really looking forward to that coming around soon. But for now, I'm just gonna have to force myself to get up a little bit earlier, because I find the earlier I get up, the more I get done, the earlier I can start my day, and I feel so much more productive with myself then. And once I've got things done, the day just goes more smoothly. Like honestly, if by 11 o'clock I have got a load of things ticked off my to-do list, I feel so good about myself. So that small thing of just getting up like 20 minutes earlier in the morning, even if that's just to like sit down and have 20 minutes to have a cup of tea, have a cup of coffee, have your breakfast, write your to-do list, just to have time to yourself, to register one that you are up, and to kind of just take a little bit more time to start your day off. I think it makes such a huge difference. So that is just like a really, really simple way to make your life like 10 times more productive this year. And the last thing that I really want to do this year is implement the 1 minute rule a little bit more. Again, I got really good with this at the start of last year and then just let it slip. So I'm going to keep all of these up through 2019. So if you don't know what the 1 minute rule is, basically it just means that anything that's going to take you 1 minute to do, you should just do it instead of putting it on the back burner and saying, it'll only take a minute, I'll do it later. Because all those little minutes all add up. So whether that's like an email that you have to send, or hanging up your coat when you get into the house, putting your shoes away when you get into the house, sticking a load of laundry on, these things, like some of them are going to take more than just a minute, but they might just take 5 minutes. But if you just do them when you know that that's all they're going to take, it makes such a difference. Because for example, yesterday I got home and I had my dinner in the oven, and I could have easily just sat there and scrolled through my phone and said, oh yeah, after I'm finished eating my dinner, I'll get back to that email and I'll write out the description box for my YouTube video and I'll put on my load of washing. All of those things would have added up, and I would have had to do them all after I had my dinner instead of just doing them while the dinner was cooking, and I could have just killed like 3 birds with 1 stone. So the 1 minute rule is one thing that I really want to implement this year. Get things done if they don't take a lot of time. So I think those are all the main things that I want to keep in mind when it comes to just like living my life in 2019. And I think the only other thing I want to keep in mind and keep reminding myself of is to get comfortable being uncomfortable, because I love the saying, if nothing changes, nothing changes. So if you want to better yourself this year, or you want to grow your business, or change your diet, or be more positive, or start a new hobby, or anything at all, you're gonna have to do something that makes you a little bit uncomfortable. So that is my motto this year: get comfortable being uncomfortable, because sometimes when you take risks, amazing things happen. So that is one of my goals this year in 2019, and I would like to hear some of yours, so make sure to leave them down in the comments below for me. What is the one thing that you want to achieve in 2019? I would absolutely love to know. Anywho, I'm gonna go and write out my list of to-dos for today and drink this tea and try and make my throat a little bit better and basically restart my day again. Okay, it is a little bit, whoa, no voice. It is a little bit later on now. I went out for a walk. Obviously it's later on, it's dark outside. I went out for my walk because I thought that that might, you know, clear my head up a little bit. Nope. But I went out for my walk, I got some work done. I've been sitting with my hot water bottle trying to make myself feel a little bit better. But I'm actually going to cook up some dinner now. And I had some salmon in the fridge that I needed to use up. And I just obviously feel like something like really hearty and filling and spicy, so that's what I'm gonna do tonight. I kind of just went online and tried to look for something that was like Mexican inspired or something with a lot of spice and flavor in it. And actually earlier on I cooked up a pot of my homemade tomato and basil soup. There's not as much basil in this, more lots of garlic and lots of chili, so that I can kind of like taste everything, because you know when you're like sick or you've got a cold, you don't have like, your taste buds don't work properly. So I just put lots of garlic and lots of chili into that. So what I'm thinking of doing, or what I am going to do should I say, is salmon. And I marinated the salmon earlier on in the fridge here, just put it in a little bag in some lime juice. So I have like a half a lime. What else did I put in it? Olive oil. I minced up some garlic. I used some cumin and some chili powder and some salt and pepper, and I also put in some chipotle chili paste. So it's gonna be some spicy salmon, and I'm gonna bake that in the oven. And that's like really simple, so that only goes on for like 15 minutes or so, maybe 12 minutes. And then in the oven at the moment I am roasting a red pepper. So that is basically going to be what the salmon's going to sit on. I'm going to do some form of like a stewy kind of a thing. So I have some black beans, and I've chopped up some mushrooms, and I also have some cherry tomatoes over here. And what else am I going to do? So black beans, cherry tomatoes, mushrooms, the roasted red pepper, some garlic. I'm probably going to put in a little bit of chili as well, and I might stick in some sweet corn too. And then I'm going to add in a little bit of this soup, because this soup, if you've ever made it, it kind of doubles up as a sauce if you kind of keep it a little bit thicker. So I use it as a soup and as a sauce. So I'm going to mix that all in with that tomato soup as well, and I think it's going to taste really good. So keep your fingers crossed for me that it's going to taste yummy. I have a feeling it will, and I have a feeling it's going to really just blow this cold out of my head. Fingers crossed anyway. So let's get to cooking. Okay, so we are done. It smells good, so let's hope that it tastes good too. So I ended up doing some mushrooms, black beans, some roasted red pepper, chopped up some plum tomatoes, and then I have my marinated salmon on top. So I will leave all of the ingredients that I used down in the description box, and I will let you know how it tastes. Okay guys, I've literally stopped eating in the middle of my dinner because I needed to tell you that this tastes so good. If you like spiced, I'm not gonna say, it's kind of hard to say because I'm not sure if my taste buds just can't taste spice that well right now, but if you like spicy / spiced food, I suppose you can kind of like adapt it to suit your taste buds, whether you like things more spicy or less spicy. The marinade on the salmon is amazing, so good, and the beans taste amazing too. So I'm going to finish this off and I'll give you a full, like, my full thoughts on the situation. Okay, well, I give myself an A1 for that meal. That was really good. All the hot liquids. I still have my Christmas tree up as well. That's gonna come down tomorrow. Anyway, yeah, so I will leave the recipe for that down in the description box. So everything that I use to make the tomato soup kind of thing, and then everything that I use to make the little bean thing, and then the marinade as well for the salmon. So yeah, I am going to wrap up today's video here because I need to go make myself feel a little bit better for work in the morning. I'm up super early. I have an early start, so I need to get to bed a little bit earlier this evening. Wow, I'm literally cutting my head out of the frame. But anywho, before we end the video, we're gonna do a question of the vlog. I'm keeping these up, you guys. I'm not letting them slip this time. So let's go to my last video. Okay, so today's question of the vlog comes from Shelby Gilmore. Hey Shelby. And she says, I can't talk. Hashtag question of the vlog. What is your favorite Disney World park and are you excited for Orlando? Oh girl, you know me. Yes, one, I am super excited for Orlando. I can't wait. It's only something like 11 days away now and I cannot wait to get into some warmer weather. Oh my god. Hopefully I'm over this cough by the time I get away. But yeah, I can't wait. I'm so excited. I haven't been in like 2 years, which is freaking crazy. So I'm very excited to go over to Orlando. And also the question of what my favorite Walt Disney World park is a very difficult one to answer, because when I was there the last time, both Animal Kingdom and Hollywood Studios weren't what they are now. So Hollywood Studios has Toy Story Land in it now, and Animal Kingdom now has Pandora. So there's two new like worlds for me to discover when I go over there. I'm super excited. I can't wait. So it's totally different experience. When I was there the last time, I, for some reason, even though it doesn't have an awful lot in it, loved Hollywood Studios because I love the vibe of it. It's a great park if you have like the 4-park ticket, but if you were only going to one park, you wouldn't choose to go to Hollywood Studios because there wouldn't be enough in it. I love Epcot because of all the food. I mean, yum. Because you can eat the whole way around the world, which is amazing, and have some tasty drinks too. And Animal Kingdom I loved because of the safari. The safari is amazing in Animal Kingdom, and then Magic Kingdom is Magic Kingdom. It has the castle, so like, duh. I don't know. Oh, it's a really hard one. I'm not gonna go Magic Kingdom because I feel like the other parks, there are better rides in them. For now, I'm gonna split between Animal Kingdom and Hollywood Studios because both of those have new lands in them that I can't wait to discover. And if I liked Hollywood Studios when there was nothing in it, I have a feeling I'm gonna love it now that Toy Story Land is open in it, even though there's only like 2 new rides in it. I still really like the vibe of Hollywood Studios, but I love Animal Kingdom because of all the animals. So I don't know, it's a hard decision. If you are a Disney World gal or just like a Disney gal in general and you've been to Disney World, let me know what your favorite land is in the comments down below. I would love to know. Anywho, thank you so much for your question, Shelby. You know me well when you're asking about Disney. If you want to do a question of the vlog for my next video, make sure to comment down in the comment section using the hashtag question of the vlog, and I will answer another question in my next video. Anywho, as I said, I am gonna go and try and make myself feel a little bit better, drink some more tea, try and not be hoarse and sick in the morning for work. That would be great, and I will catch you all again in my next video. Don't forget to give this one a thumbs up if you enjoy it, and click subscribe if you want to see some more, and I will see you all again next time.